This video app review is brought to you by the iPhone appreview.com.
What's up, everybody? This is Luke Patrick with the iPhone appreview.com. We're slinging out yet another video review today. This time taking a look at an application called Dropout that fits very squarely into the physics puzzler genre for the iPhone, which is something that we typically try to avoid because, to be honest, we've seen so many of them since Angry Birds and Cut the Rope and whatnot came out. We felt this one was particularly worth noting because, as it happens, it's really rather unique, which is something we don't get to say much in this genre, and we're really quite stoked to be showing you today. Just to give a quick, initial wrap-up here, if you're looking for a new physics puzzler to spend the morning commute with, this really is the best option out there, and as far as that goes, we did give it a 4.5 out of 5-star rating. We like it this much. We'll show you more of why in just a second. But if it keeps your interest, this is probably the best physics puzzler out there, and we wouldn't be surprised if this overtakes the Angry Birds throne very quickly, actually. It's quite that good. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here. As you can see, this is a fresh install. We haven't unlocked many of the levels yet, but as you can see, there are quite a few different levels. And you might also notice the fact that the menu looks pretty darn good. It's obviously they've thought a lot about the design, and we really liked the feel of this. It's kind of cutesy. We'll see more of the gameplay in just a second. But to give a demonstration of how this works, the best way that we can describe it is Angry Birds meets billiards. So we're going to go ahead and show you how this works. You have a stack of critters over there, furries, and then the idea is that you drag a critter like that and then fire it off, knocking these guys down, hence the dropout in the name, the dropout. So once that's done, you get points for it, and then there's a timer and you're booted on to the next level. As you progress through the game, you unlock more of these little furry critters. Also, you get a variety of other obstacles and things to work with. So there is a fair amount of innovation as the game goes on. It's not completely repetitive, which is a nice touch. And furthermore, you do experience different backgrounds, different levels, etc., which is a nice touch. As you can tell, we really like the graphics. It's absolutely fantastic, especially the paper cutout style images up here for your different projectiles, furry missiles. In terms of the physics engine, which is something that we typically rail on physics puzzlers for, this one's actually spot on. It feels very organic, and we had no problem, playing with it aside from our own failure to aim. We really enjoyed it. It is the same sort of Angry Birds mechanic in the sense of you pull, and depending on how far back you pull, you either fire a really poor shot or you fire a really strong one. Obviously, I just failed the level. We're going to go ahead and show you something a little bit more complex, so we can again, also I forgot about that, you can actually tap these guys to see how many points they're worth, which is a nice touch because you have to get a certain amount of points before you can pass through the level. Obviously the more points you get, the higher star rating you get as well, which is a nice touch. To explain the billiards idea that we were projecting there, the idea is that you have to actually really think about these shots and align them well. Obviously, if you slap these guys, they're going to react in a pretty gravity-based way. So you really have to think about this, and then when more obstacles are involved, when there are lots of walls, etc. in this scenario, you really do have to think about it in much the same way that you would billiards, in terms of having to think about how can I bounce this guy off of this, how can I do this, especially with other missiles involved, which we won't give away. You end up with a lot of potential there, and it's actually quite challenging depending on the level. You may spend quite a while firing these guys off. We did appreciate the leniency in terms of giving us multiple shots to work with. One of our biggest problems with Angry Birds, and one of the reasons we stopped playing it, is that we got tired of only having so many birds. You've only got so many furries to work with here, but each of them returns a point reduction when you fire them off, which is sort of a different mechanic than we're used to, and we really quite liked it. We also like the addition of stars to collect as well. All in all, it's a rather cute game. The gameplay mechanic is fresh and unique, which is something that, again, we don't get to say much in this genre, and we're really impressed to see it this way. The further levels, or the further into the game you go, the harder it is and the more challenging, which is something that we also appreciated. And depending on the level, you can actually work out quite a lot of really interesting combos, which we're going to try to do now by hitting this guy at the top. Well, that didn't quite work as well. I should have slacked off a little bit there. Again, very billiards-ish feel. If you hit it too hard, you may not get all the benefits you were going after, etc., etc. So really nice mechanic there. Again, graphics are just stupendous, which is something we don't see in a lot of these quote-unquote Angry Birds clones. Again, this is not a direct clone. Neither is a direct clone of anything else like Cut the Rope. It's just a new, solid, fresh gameplay mechanic. This little tab here says more levels are coming soon, and we don't doubt it. We really hope the developers continue to push what this app is capable of, and we really hope some more levels pop out soon. We wouldn't be surprised if they did rather soon after the initial launch. And with all of that in mind, we really have high hopes for the Dropout. We hope that this continues to grow in the App Store, and we wouldn't be surprised at all if it really starts to gain traction, and at the least appears in the iTunes New and Noteworthy very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for it. Better yet, go ahead and buy it. It's an absolute steal. It's an incredible value, and with so many levels, we have a feeling you'll spend quite a lot of time with it, especially if you're on a morning commute and are just sort of looking for something to kill some time with. And that's pretty much all we have to say about it. So again, this has been the Dropout, which we gave a solid 4.5 out of 5-star rating, and is available March 1st, which is tomorrow as of this review's shooting. That's all we have to say about it. So at this point, I'm just going to thank you guys for tuning in, and say that we'll see you later. Bye.